LiveTalkRadio.com. It's open mic. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to think you are in time and space. In infinity. Nice to have you. This is Live Talk Radio. Joel T. Bridges at your service. Conscious Love is here. He's got Ascension flu today. He is going to be reporting into us when he either gets there or feels better. I'm not sure where he came up with the Ascension flu. Somebody needs to Google it. Came up with the Ascension flu. Somebody needs to Google it. Where he came up with the Ascension flu. Somebody needs to Google it. One time he said, "You give time to that which you love." Can't believe it. We lucked out. We actually got we're still on the air. We're not.
Stupid idea in my opinion, but
it's pretty close.
I'm pretty sure those don't contain nicotine. Well, I don't want the nicotine, but can you get it with just the vapor?
Right, just because she was a woman, Joy, yeah, because Cupcake is a woman, she can say, "I really love you, and I would be so hurt if you didn't come back on Pal Talk," yeah? And you're like, oh, me too. But when I say that, you know, it's like blank him out. He's a man. He's got a penis. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm only joking. God, I'm only joking. Of course I didn't mean that. I'm just doing this, showing off. I'm doing this for my own kind of like entertainment, and also, yeah, I'm doing it because I'm actually in love with myself, to tell you the truth. I really am in love with me. I give myself a hug every night in the bed. Yeah. Yeah. Seems to pop up pretty quick. I'm only joking. What the hell's going on here? Who's the fucking... Oh, I'm wrong. Hello? Oh, yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah, I found it. I got one off my mum, right? Oh, Joyful, can you just ask Libby a question for me? Because she doesn't answer me. Everything I say, she doesn't answer. Does not answer. It's like, fuck you. Yeah? Can you ask Libby, right?
Fuck up, go on, just get gone, we don't care, just go, bye!
That's his way of saying he loves you too.
Fuck on, just get gone, we don't care, just go, bye!
That's
Okay, just go, bye! Go on, just get gone, we don't care, just go, bye! Fuck up, go on, just get gone, we don't care, just go, bye!
Ooh. Oh. Mmm. Oh. 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 Mm-hmm.
And I'll do the one that's... You'll do the one that's joy. You'll do the one that's kind of like excited and happy. Can I do the one that's depressed? Yeah. Right.
It's like that, so you can just put all red dots on and take them off. Just like that.
Honestly, you foot like rabbits.
Yeah. Woo! It's Friday, I made it!
Good night, Mom.
You know what's just happened? Summer for the last 5 minutes has been going, Mom, I've got bellyache. Mom. And then I went, I'm going to get some sweets in a minute. She went, can I have some?
Charity will soon knock on your door. I remember talking about that, and then I flipped it behind me, and it was on the floor.
On this constant, like, you know, well, I don't know, like a constant movement. And I'd rather, you know, I'd rather be what is than have to sort of like do this moving about and chewing and throwing and, you know what I mean, having to do this, having to do that. I'd much rather just sit here and just be what is. Or in some Middle Eastern country, and I'm just busy doing that at the moment, but I'll be back as soon as I organise a civil war and it kicks off. No, it's just another boring day at the office, really, you know. I've just, you know, just finished work at the nuclear warhead factory, and now I'm just about to start a civil war, nuclear war, that's silly me. I'll be back later on, well, just soon anyway. There, that guy's got there, that's just nuclear warheads.
We're too stupid to realize how...
see that guy laying the warheads down?
And I'm not really a good PR man, so telling your audience to go fuck themselves.
The guy behind him was playing a prank,
generate a lot
and he
of
kind of like had another warhead that came up the conveyor belt. You can't see that though, and he's shoving it up the other guy's bottom. So it's just the crazy things we get up to at work, you know.
So.
Different cable providers you have in your town, but most cable providers, they offer quite a bit more bandwidth.
We can increase the size of the type style in the room. I'm not exactly off in La La Land all the time, although it does seem to a lot of people I am.
So, when I see you, I see you. I don't make lies about it. I see you. But when I don't see you, I argue with you and I fight with you. I try to create a story that you may enjoy enough for me to around planet Earth.
So I'm 6 hours. Tomorrow I'm gonna have off because my dad's craft fair.
Yeah.
So I'll be down.
He's having a craft fair?
Craft fair, yeah.
Somebody else's.
No, he's going to one.
Oh, he's
I'm trying.
not happening. We tried this morning again in 9 days, and he hasn't been able to see it yet. She was skeletal remains.
You know, and that's in the process, just in the attainment of spirituality, as we go through all these texts and everything that we're listening to and such, studying or what have you. Movie of where it's talking quite a bit about attainment of corporeal things, corporeal matters, but I'm saying, you know, it's the same thing as when we're doing our spiritual studies. We're missing this point. This way, really, I am, you know, and I could go more in depth about it, but maybe it's too religious, you know. So I just going to touch on it just a little bit. But in order to find out about it, maybe we have to do quite a bit more than frickin' physical death. And there's a lot of spiritualism about that too. Process. You know, to many of us, we're talking about instead of having 10 doing this in 10 lifetimes, maybe we can do it in 3. But I don't think anybody's going to go frickin' mad and wind up in hospitals about it. You can't me, you know, for shit that has nothing to do with me or you at all.
Spastic. Anyway, over to you, Altera. Yeah. Altera the pointless, never saying what he wants to say. He's just muddled up with little shits, little other shit. You got shit in your head, Altera, shit around and round and round and round and round. You know what I mean? Little shithead. I'm only joking.
Is you're projecting your own flaws. You're talking about your own flaws. If you're letting your own flaws be known, and you're telling the spiritualists, would you pray for me? Would you bestow some light onto Tripping Mushroom and his family? People already have. In order to bring them back up to reality, really works, you know.
It's contraindicated because feelings are usually a record of a past experience. So predictable. That's the quantum model. It has to be uncertain. It has to come in a way that we least expect, that surprises us, that leaves no doubt that what we did inside of us produced some effect outside of us. And when you begin to have those small synchronicities at first, and then they turn into larger and larger events, and you experience that awe and that wonder, or that joy and appreciation for being alive. I think that's the natural state of being. I think that's having that kind of sensibility coming from within us instead of needing something outside of us to change our state. I think that's true empowerment.
And you're listening to LiveTalkRadio.com's Open Mic from Paltalk.com, being broadcast over the Worldwide Network.com. Well, good morning day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. We just went down memory lane. We went over 9 hours of material in about 10 minutes. And we have a new announcement for you folks that have come along. We now are recording and uploading to YouTube. So if you want to know what happened earlier, that was of course all open mic material. There are actual shows scheduled. If you'd like to have a show in here, you can request airtime. We will do our very best to record it and upload it to YouTube, or it will stay there as long as... Well, how long does stuff stay on YouTube? How long does that stuff stay on YouTube, anyway? Does anybody know? I know that there's been stuff there that's gotten 20 million hits that have been there for a couple of years. Isn't that weird? Seems that everybody in here, they come in here and they go, what radio? How many listeners? Duh. Maybe this is a production studio like you were at home and you finally got it the way you wanted it and you finally uploaded it to YouTube and you get 20 million hits over 5 years. Nothing to sneeze at, huh? 20 million people listening to what you did in your home studio? Any different between that and recording 30 years of your life, which you're uploading to YouTube? I don't know. Who the hell cares? Who the hell gives a shit? You know what? What's interesting is if you get a small niche of the world, 2% is 20 million people. So I guess with today's technology, I guess there's an audience out there if you can just find it. It doesn't have to appeal to everybody. Not interesting. So yeah, you could have thousands of people tuned in for something that you could care less about, like Lawrence Welk music. You like Lawrence Welk? Want to go back and listen to him? Sure. He's still there. People, thousands of people, maybe millions even, go back and listen to him to this day. He's been dead for a while. How about Alan Watts, who didn't date any of his material and talked about metaphysical stuff, taking the Eastern philosophy and presenting it to the Western culture, who is still listened to today. He's more listened to today than he was when he started. Isn't that interesting? Isn't the technology just wonderful? And you guys come in here and you go, how many people are listening? Fuck you. Bunch of idiots. You have no idea the power of communications these days. Does it matter who's listening? I don't care. I don't care. But for the ego, I guess it matters who said it, when they said it, how they said it, what authority did they say it by, how popular it was, whether there's real religious overtones to it. Oh, it just has to go through a filter after filter after filter after filter. And most of you are so busy in la-la land, you can't hear jack shit anyway. You're very good at defending yourself. You're very good at defending your belief system. You're very good at projecting all this crap. But listening? Nah. You don't listen to shit. You're too busy judging everything to decide whether you like or do you dislike it. Where is the filing cabinet? What folder does it go in? And you got this big round hole in the middle of your office where if you can't figure it out and you don't want to bother with it, you just dump it down the hole. Yep, that's your average human being. And most of you don't know how to listen. We're shit. You go, why the fuck should I listen anyway? A lot of you people think this is all horse shit, but you're too stupid, too blind, too programmed, too conditioned to even realize you're programmed and conditioned. So you get to have the world exactly the way you want it. You're king. You decide what the world means. Deciding who lives, who dies, who's cool, who's not. And you say, good enough, baby. If I can't eat it, and I can't fuck it, and I can't do this, and I can't do that with it, it ain't worth shit. Well, obviously the invisible part, which is held by the mind, there's two kinds of seeing, one with the eyes and the other with the mind. The one with the eyes, you just think, well, you know, it's all the same. But you don't realize you're not even living in the same fucking universe as other people. You're not. Because you got yourself totally deluded into believing all kinds of shit you've never challenged. Until you tell me you don't know, I think you're full of shit. And even then, I think you're probably full of shit. I don't know if you're as much full of shit as I am, though. I think I'm more full of shit than all of mine. That's what I think. But what the fuck do I know? Well, alright. Do I have to tell myself to go fuck myself? Yeah, why don't you do that? No, I'll let you play that part. Go fuck yourself, Joel. Oh, fuck you too. Well, thank you. At least we can agree on that, huh? Oh, why don't we tell them to go fuck themselves? Yeah, good idea. You want to do it or you want me to? I'll do it. Tomorrow I get to do it. Okay, that's a deal. Go fuck yourselves. Everybody that's listening, go fuck yourselves. Should we add that we love them too? Nah, fuck them.
Well, you know, it's all too contradictory there. You know, what's anybody to say? You know, what are you trying to do? Drive people to what you don't want, alcoholism or something. I mean, shit. You know, frickin' Rico, he's gone mad. You know, what the hell's going on around this bitch? What do you want now? You gonna do, you know, I got this this buddy of mine. He hates me. He really fucking hates me. But I don't know what's going on. Look, you know, with him, I think he's in this state of where he has to give in order to receive. You know, or that's what he thinks that he's doing. You know, there's a states it's you give in order to receive, or you can receive in order to receive, or you can give in order to give. Did you know that there's a state of where you just give in order to give more? You give so you can keep on giving. How do you receive in order to give, though? That's a good one. Receiving in order to give. See that buddy of mine, he's giving in order to receive. And that's a tough state. There's a lot of confusion in that. When one feels that they're giving in order to receive. But anyway, you know, corrupting these matters, corrupt. If we take it all in, oh, we don't have to do anything about it. We're taking in the data here, oh, but it's just knowledge. It's just knowledge. You know, it's not about the knowledge, it's about the wisdom. It's ruffling our feathers when we think about it that way just a little bit. So let's come around here and corrupt some of it. Let's let the trolls come in. Oh, I'm a troll too. We'll corrupt it. We'll corrupt it just a little bit. Well, did it ever really need to be corrupted? Who said corrupt it? What? evil desires, the confusion, the unexplained part, the sneaky devil, that nobody, the sneaky Satan or something, that nobody dare try to come up against directly. And as far as I'm concerned, they should not come up against Satan, the deepest parts of the ego, directly. But this is what giving in order to it certainly does get confusing. It's so confusing that the confusion can nullify itself, that the confusion causes the ego to nullify itself, and we're up in the upper light. How the heck are we going to get back down? Whoa! Where's the meditation to ground myself? I'm so exhausted from this joyful happiness, bliss experience. It's been going on for too long. Where's the meditation? Where's on YouTube? I gotta ground my chakras, for crying out loud. Put me back in, so I can, why? So I can feel grounded, not me necessarily, but to feel grounded in a way that causes us to be able to give, right? To be able to share, to be able to give something about it, huh? Much more to be said about these topics, and some epic fucking shit apparently coming up. You've heard about it. 2012. December 21st, 2012. Or something around these years. Anyway. Months, years, something around this point. Some epic understanding of some epic fucking shit. Coming up, coming down. However, it's going along. This is the way things are. The flow, in the flow or outside of the flow, we're gonna do what the best that we can do with it. LiveTalkRadio.com presents, and I'm back quiet.
Oh, let's see. Somebody was saying, "Oh, what an ego." Do you have an ego? I guess everybody does. Some people say, well, what an ego, it's like it's a bad thing. That seems to be a misperception among a lot of people. The ego is just a tool. Like a shovel in your garden. You can dig a hole with it if you want. Compost stuff. When the neighbor comes over and starts snitching your shit out of your garden, at harvest time, you can whack him over the head with it, murder the sucker over a few veggies, bury him in the hole and compost him too. This is the fault of the shovel. The ego's a tool. And it's like being a farmer and having an unruly pig. What do you do about an unruly pig? You ever see a pig with a ring through its nose? Do you ever see a farmer leading a pig around by its nose? It's really sensitive, the nose. You ever have a ring in your nose? A lot of people do. Do you ever grab the ring? Kind of sensitive, isn't it? Well, the ego is merely a fiction. It believes in itself. Okay?
And in ego, you can't see anything but ego. You know why? Because you're looking with ego. How are you going to see somebody without an ego if you have one? How are you going to do that? Neat trick if you can. Kind of like that story I heard about the pickpocket. What does a pickpocket see when he looks at a saint? His pockets. So here you are deciding whether somebody has an ego or not with your ego. How the fuck would you know if somebody else has an ego? If you have one. If you don't have one, why would you care? You see, what seems to be happening is there seems to be a little something that separated itself and mistook the body as an independent, autonomous source without the source. Yeah? And it's focused on that. It keeps trying to figure out. It looks to me like the ego decides who to give to and who to withhold from. It isn't the way it works. God lets the rain fall on the just and the unjust equally. He shines the sun on the just and the unjust equally. He grows everything. And it doesn't matter who's just and unjust. He's too pure to behold iniquity. Are you too pure to behold iniquity? Do you love unconditionally? Well, then you have nothing to do with God. The stuff of this world is like filthy rags. Why should God be concerned about an ego that thinks somehow it escaped His love? How would you actually delude yourself into believing that you're not part of God? There's all kinds of stories about that. Lucifer, remember the story about Lucifer? A being of light? And there was a big rebellion, and he took a third of the angels with him. Got a lot of stories. You know, when I was talking earlier, I was using analogies. Jesus used to use parables, and then he would be direct with his disciples and explain them. And then he would say, those that have ears to hear will hear, and those that have eyes to see will see. I don't care if you think it's religious or not, it's still a story just like everything else. Only evidently the ego likes certain stories and doesn't like other stories. You know? Finds certain things acceptable and other things unacceptable. And you keep missing the whole frickin' point. You can't even concentrate on one single thing that I've said. You come back with all this stuff that doesn't seem to be relevant, and then you criticize, apparently, I'm guessing. It looks like you're critical, saying that's not what I'm talking about. Your own mind, listening to the mind chatter going on, that you can't actually listen to a damn thing. And I don't say that to be critical, going by what you're saying. You seem to be all over the map. You seem to have convinced yourself that if you can just find the combination of knowledge that you're going to hurry the process. That's the ego talking. There's no ego to process it. There is no actual person per se. But you haven't gotten to the point of looking at that, and it seems totally preposterous. So you don't even stop to think about it. You don't even contemplate it. That's what apparently is going on according to the way you feed back what it is I'm saying. You're taking it all personally. The ego takes things personally. You can't hear the information because you're so biased. You're so prejudiced against what is being talked about and pointed out to you. You can't see the forest through the trees. I'm in the same boat, you know. No different than you are. And Jesus wasn't any different than the rest of us. You keep looking at it as though there's enlightenment. Let me going to tell you a story. It won't make any sense to you, but it might to some people. They say before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, be depressed. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, be depressed. But everything's different. Just because you become enlightened doesn't mean you stop being in the world. You're in the world, but not of the world. You appear to be like everyone else. The only difference is you have a twinkle in your eye, a smile on your face. And the things of this world, why the hell would you go around broadcasting to people, I'm enlightened, look at me,
I'm enlightened. You're not. Nah, 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 nah. I'm more enlightened than you. That's ego. Why don't we just whip out our dicks and see who's got the biggest penis, huh? Come on, put up your dukes. Yeah, just because you expound upon this knowledge and fucking belief systems and shit, all this crap that we've presented over consider the possibilities, doesn't mean you're any further along the path than anybody else. Just because you practice various techniques, people have been practicing meditation for 30 years, still don't have it. You have to be born like a little child again. Is your ego, is your pig unruly? Well, in that story about the pig putting a ring through its nose and about the ego being like a shovel, what happens, you'll see, is the farmer is consciousness, who then puts a ring through the ego's nose and leads it around, and now the ego is used as a tool to serve humanity. Jesus said himself he came to serve, not to be served. I wake up every day and I say, what can I do to serve people? You keep asking, where do you give? You don't give anything. The ego has nothing to give. Nothing to give. You're not acknowledging the source of life. Life is what gives. As long as you have an ego in the way, it's going to be impeded by it. It's going to block it. It's going to fuck it up. It's going to screw it up. It's going to screw up. The good that I would, that I do not. The good that I would not do, that I do. I understand you're versed in the Bible, so some people like that. I don't care. I think the Bible's as much information as anything else. You're the one that still decides what it all means, how to take it, what to do with it. You're the one that decides. You have a relationship with the source. None of my business what you want to believe at all. None. I'm not here to change anybody. I'm here working on myself. That's it. That's all I'm here doing. Working on myself. So I don't have to put myself in a position to say, well, I'm enlightened and you're not. Or my dick is bigger than yours. Although it probably is. And I'm not here to teach anything. I'm here to share whatever it is that seems to pass through my consciousness, knowing that I don't know jack shit. And there's no way to know what I know, but I've gotten a clue that it isn't in the thinking mind. That there are periods in my time where I disconnect from what is being used as a means of communication and sharing called the internet, the radio, whatever it is, and I can go and I go to the other extreme where I can sit down and stop thinking, stop creating stories, and I wear myself out until I'm totally exhausted. Last year it was 31 hours broadcasting. I watch the cycles. I'm a puppet. I'm a slave to Christ, if you want to put it in those terms. I would like to find my life, so I'm willing to give my entire life, my whole earthly existence, everything I own. There isn't anything that I want here anymore. I wanted to exit last year, and I got slammed hard. And I came back and I realized those not busy being born, which is a continual now process, are busy dying. And once you've been in that position and you have a chance to look, and you're in the whale's belly for 3 days, which is a symbol, okay, of hell, then everything is a gift after that. Everything. Cup of coffee, the ability to walk, the ability to watch clouds as they go overhead, meeting somebody, enjoying everything, because life is now active. It's not my life anymore. It belongs to the Creator. There was an acknowledgement finally. It's not mine. It never was. There's nothing there. There's a fiction, there's a story, there's a guy. So don't hold me up on some pedestal because I'm no different than you are. Although you'll say, oh yes you are. You're different. You're strange. You're a nutcase. You're a wacko. You're this. You're that. And we're going to vegan. Oh, she gives you a bag, you get out to you like a bossy, like a popisi. Cause you like a papetti. I see later. Oh, sick malaka, you're a basically. Oh, sick like oh, and kick a papati. Oh, see, livetalkradio.com. Kill a party to the Worldwide Radio Network.com. Oh, sick like papo. Oh, you like a papa, sick like papo. Kalak. Gitt in vårt och det mixen det på sitta pappa kay to kali open mic.
What the fuck, Chuck? Hey, they make the electronic cigarettes that don't have nicotine in the cartridge at all. But I don't know how many flavors they have. And that don't have the nicotine. I wonder though if you'd get addicted, if your lungs would somehow subtly get addicted to the sugar, because you're inhaling some type of sugar vapor, as far as I understand. Because in all of the